me share for you. Day of Overwatch. A little scuffed, getting a couple things put together, but we're into the action, and right off the bat, Orimaru falls and Hothead Skull on the Brigitte has fallen as well. Trueblade rocking the Ramatra Cranky with the newly buffed Reaper, looking to get some work done. He's brought really low quite early though, and now Ramatra, D.Va, Lucio, the only remaining members for the University of Hartford, is this fight is looking all but lost as Trueblade 16 gonna dance as long as he can and finally fall. A bit of a shaky start. Hello everyone, I'm Eric Culver. I'm joined by probably Peter here on the cast, and welcome to week 6 of NACE Overwatch.
Yeah, and it's great to be back here, especially with the all of the changes that we've seen today. We get to see some high-level, engaging Overwatch with the new patch. You know, every single patch people will argue over whether or not there are hard changes, hard buffs, hard nerfs, anything like that, but oftentimes, especially these days, mostly we're seeing just changes, and a major change we're seeing here is Trueblade 16 going to be on the Zarya, taking out the D.Va here, as we're seeing not very conventional plays or not very conventional comps that you would normally see. However, Trueblade 16 trying to hide there, accidentally just gets cut off, or actually creates a lane for the Baptiste to be able to kill them, but the University of Hartford has a couple picks underneath their belt here. A D-Max D.Va, one person dead, a Blizzard that doesn't able to find much, and a Mortar that can't do enough damage, but they do manage to flip map. And even with all these changes, UHeart still looking very solid. They have a little bit of extra percentage, it's going to at least slow down the progress on the other side of this team here, which I actually don't know the name of, so I'm going to talk back over to my other caster.
This is...
What is this college they're playing?
We've got the University of Hartford on our left. Team Blue and Team Red today is Cedarville Yellow. And
Cedarville Yellow, yeah.
I have to say, it seems up to this point, the biggest thing Hartford has been struggling with is their speed and their rotations. They're getting just bullied by this Zenyatta and Baptiste at range. And now
yeah, that's a high damage.
Blade comes in, but Revan immediately takes him out with great coalescence. Now, numbers advantage in favor of the University of Hartford could be dangerous if they decide to use ultimates, but it seems Cedarville is just going to concede the space. Ooh, this Sojourn of Bush is scary, as he's been getting crazy value, though. Hartford are able to get the D-Mech. Oh, Trueblade, or sorry, Blackout dies for absolutely no reason. D.Va nearly able to escape as well, but one ultimate does get forced out, as Cedarville is able to bring this to one fight territory on the first round of Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, 88% is a really good amount to lock up here, but we do see a fantastic wall, protecting two people from getting out. Orimaru able with the side of Cranky, able to pick up some picks there. And this is weird. I mean, like I said earlier, this is unconventional comps all around. We do see the Ramatra swap a little bit more stable for like the standard brawl you would see on this map, but I feel that the Zarya is cooking. It's doing a very solid job. Trueblade 16, rather well placed on the Zarya, but the Zenyatta really good. And that Zenyatta trance is going to be able to deny that and take out Trueblade 16, who's not able to receive enough healing from the short-range Moira, so they push a little bit too far. And that's going to be Cedar University here, just walking onto the point. A little bit of delay there, which might be everything needed, especially when you have one person lurking, able to touch. Revan getting ready for that, as there's 10% left on the board here before Lijiang Control Center goes the way of either of these two teams.
Hartford just a little greedy with their ultimates. They have plenty of tools to work with, but they let Cedarville... Oh, and they don't get a touch! They let Cedarville just negate all of their offense, all of their grab value with one Transcendence. They hold on to the Death Blossom, they hold on to the Coalescence, or the Blizzard, and no value is there to be had from the University of Hartford.
Yeah, as much as that was a very creative graviton for Trueblade 16, the rest of the University of Hartford's team wanting to play a little bit closer to the ground there made it difficult to combo ults in that instance, leading to that kind of just fall over, especially when the stability of having a Ramatra back in a normal brawl comp on a normal brawl map worked really effectively, and that swap was really large for Cedarville. So as we go into this next map here, once again, we're going to see some pretty interesting stuff. A little bit of a new look for the University of Hartford, this Doom comp they've tried out. Hopefully they do stick on it. I think we've only ever seen one map, or one fight taken on it. But Cedarville University, very interesting, as the Reinhardt that they decided to come out with instantly bopped off the map by this Doomfist. Great to also see that that Brig change has been fixed, as once again, Brig also somewhat odd here. Maybe a little bit more powerful in the previous patch, where there was a huge Doomfist bug in which only the Doomfist would get knocked down when bashing, but you just saw there was an equal knockdown effect there. So good job on Team 4 and all the lovely folks over at Blizzard. But we will see Cedarville making a couple swaps here, not getting rid of the Brig, but swapping from the Rhine over to the Orisa. A little harder to bully an Orisa as compared to a Reinhardt.
That's certainly true. That being said, Hartford's gonna, see what they can do. Orimaru on this flank. Blackout in the bit of a middle area. Oh, nearly gets taken out by that Cassidy. Has to use the amp heals to keep himself alive. Cranky on this Sojourn. Just gonna go to town, farming rails off of the Orisa and looking to hit the headshot on whoever comes near. Trueblade pounding the enemy tank on this patented Doomfist pick. I'm so glad we get to see this come out every once in a while for the side of University of Hartford.
Yeah, and there's a lot of strength not only in this comp, but the individuals playing on it, as we see onboarding here with Cranky. I think the Sojourn is one of those characters that just truly calls out to Cranky on the side of University of Hartford. They do a fantastic job whenever they have the opportunity to play it, and even though this might be more of a traditional dive, Orimaru and Triple 816 can definitely deal with the coordinated dives with the backlines, but just having that extra damage and especially long-range pressure whenever a proper rail is charged up, we do see a pulse going on the way of Orimaru. But as they're rotating here, Cranky's just able to get in free damage, build up that ult, and if anybody gets low, that call for Orimaru and for Triple 816 to just get in there. Ooh, maybe a little bit too far in there, maybe a little too quick for Triple 816 as he does go down, and CU manages to get all the way to the point. This could be very tough as it does flip over. Ults are invested still, however. Without a tank, it could be very difficult to try and hold that point. We do see Orimaru go down as well, the dive kind of falling apart, but the Doomfist is back. Zen pushed in way too deep, doesn't use any ability because they don't have the trance yet. Who's able to find one, but Cranky fighting right back as they have a good place to just sit on this point. Or an Orisa is very solid to have, but that extra 50 damage, no matter the range, absolutely slamming down Triple 816 into the backline and reclaiming and sending this to essentially 1.5 fights at max for University of Hartford to equalize Li Jiang and send this to a 3rd point.
Hartford is looking really strong on this Doomfist comp, and at the same time, Cedarville has been struggling to, identify a solution. The just great value on this Sojourn, how much charge they're building off of the Orisa has been really, really powerful. Now, great sightlines for this overclock, just blasting through their entire team all at once, bringing half of their team to 1 HP. A good sound barrier from Blackout, negating most of this entire Dragon Blade, and now Ultimate Economy still does favor Cedarville as Blackout looking to get some value with his Tracer on this, massive punch from Triple 816 sends off half of the team to the edge of the map. Now Orisa, Ana, all that remains. Give Trueblade the 6k, 5k, 4k at the end. As Orimaru cleans up the Orisa to bring Hartford to round number 3 for Li Jiang Tower. Almost, as Genji does come back with the touch. And we're not quite done yet. Pharah swapped here as well. Zenyatta and Lucio going to be here trying to stall as long as they possibly can. Transcendence does come out. Hartford in a massive numbers advantage, just going to try and clean this up. Supports taken out. Diva, currently all that remains. Surely not going to be able to make any magic happen anymore. And Hartford do take round number 2 of Li Jiang Tower and send us to Night Market.
Yeah, those fleeting last-ditch efforts were really interesting from the side of CU, but it just wasn't enough to stop University of Hartford, especially on this comp that works not only well on that map, but seemed to just click. I think the University of Hartford is playing that comp exactly how they want to, trying to even allow point to flip, or at the very least ignore it as much as possible and still capitalize on the backline. Allowing their Orisa to be the last one to die in most fights was incredibly solid, and I mean, that punch-off map was just textbook. I mean, that's exactly how you want to play Doomfist when you can't punch somebody into a wall. You try and go for the environmental, and it was one of the largest punches I definitely have seen in a very long time. So very big shout out to Triple 816. As we do see them sticking on the Doom here, going to be teleporting out of spawn for a little bit of extra speed, but I think if they're enjoying this comp, if it's working for them, especially this close to a patch change, they should stick with it. University of Hartford feeling solid.
I really like this decision by the University of Hartford. They tried the brawl in the first round, didn't find much success. They played this comp and dominated, so why not stick with it? If they run into trouble, maybe reevaluate and, look for another change. And it's also worth noting, those sim turrets did get buffed.
Yeah, they did get buffed. It's something to definitely look out for. However, if you could just win this first fight like UHart is aiming to do, even without a point flip here, would be very large because it's going to be much harder to get a sim actually set up there. A lot of damage there, but still, for this University of Hartford team, a very solid foot to start off with on this map, especially because of how strong Symmetra has gotten through the last patch. trying to deny that, or at the very least forcing it so that every time the TP is coming in, you're already set up on point and not having to race from your spawn, is a very good position to be in. So we'll see how Triple H 16 on the Doomfist reacts to that. Pretty good AoE character to deal with this Brawl comp that they're coming in with.
Massive
as the
boot.
teleporter does go up. Moira faded in as well. Ooh, team leader
Look
able
at
to
these
take out
charge
one.
punches.
Down.
Able to get so much value, but not quite enough follow-up to bring all of their team so low. But unfortunately, the Kiriko just a little bit separated from True Blade 16, not able to keep him alive through the damage during that charge punch. That being said, lots of picks have come through in favor of the University of Hartford, including the Moira at the end there. Orimaru goes for the pulse. True Blade 16 there to help finish up that kill, and now massive numbers in advantage for the University of Hartford as they're just looking to simplify and clean up this fight.
Absolutely, I mean, the University of Hartford really cleaned that up well. They took the picks advantage that they had. Even when their Doomfist died, their Doomfist can get back incredibly quickly. However, Blackout, a fast character to get back for sure, as well as the Tracer. But these picks matter a little bit less to them as compared to like a full-on Brawl comp because it takes so much longer to get back to the point, as well as the fact that you have to play very coordinated in the Brawl comp. Having one person down could be very, very tough. But as you can see right here, Triple H 16 only really needing that Kiri Rush to allow himself to continue to fight on point, rotate some abilities, even bait out a couple ultimates as both DPS ults on the side of CU go out. Triple H 16 make it a little bit of paste on the wall with his body there, but still a good percentage build up and still with University of Hartford in the lead as it flips over to CU side.
Now, massive, the biggest thing for Hartford to recognize is the ultimate economy in this state. Hartford now has almost 4 ults to 1, and if the timing plays out correctly, this is just a 3-0 ultimate advantage for the University of Hartford. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this, how they take their time, and what they choose to use first.
Yeah, I mean, they make sure that they have to be tracking this right now. They know that there should only be one ultimate online for the side of CU, and that's going to be the Ram ult. The beat, however, still used early, so not going to be able to use defensively. The OC here not getting as much purchase, but Blackout able to still boss up, doesn't even need the ult apparently. The beat on his side is just enough to get in and slay as much as he possibly could. Once again, forcing a point flip the University of Hartford back in control of this and really dominating. I mean, they're not even letting them breathe as they're trying to get out, as CU manages to get out with one singular member not dying. That was very, very solid from the University of Hartford. A little bit of a heavy investment, but still solid.
Exactly. Now, this fight coming in may be one of the more difficult ones for the University of Hartford to hold on to, as the Kitsune Rush and Ramatra Annihilation are both really powerful tools, as we see the Annihilation being popped on its own, forcing out a kill onto the Doomfist, and supports going every which way. And now, Ramatra just looking to clean this one up. Lucio going to be staggered late along with the Kiriko, and now one ultimate for the University of Hartford as they're nearing a second in the Kitsune Rush. And Kitsune Rush, for how would you say their Kiriko's name?
We're going to talk about the
Device?
name game after this little break. We can go with Devise, either way. We're going to complain about it later. But University of Hartford, like you said, in a solid ult economy position here because they can also just do a solid job with this comp without the ults necessarily. As once again, Triple H 16 going in a little bit bravely here. Already got the Genji low enough to maybe just wait a second, but goes in with the Doom ult, building it up incredibly fast. Who's he going to do 50 damage to? I don't think he technically hit anybody. I almost had a heart attack. Orimaru able to clean this up a little bit.
Bringing so many people incredibly low. The blade comes out, finds the punch under the Ramatra, but not the Genji. The Genji is the threat, and oh, this is such a close game. Genji, 1 HP, no deflect. Ramatra, all that remains, Cranky, not going to be able to be there in time. Oh, Revan dying 99% to the Kitsune Rush, and that is going to be the end of map number 1 as Cedarville Yellow take the lead.
Yeah, and Cedarville played incredibly well there, but I do want to shout out University of Hartford for doing a great job on this Doomfist, as we're going to see in the play of the game here by Triple H 16. It's clicking, and I think that it's something that they haven't had a lot of time in match to actually like replicate, find out the issues with. I hope that they have been working on it in scrims because it looks like it. It definitely looks like it, but a match day is a completely different scenario to be playing within. So hopefully the University of Hartford continues to stick with it, doesn't get booned by this, and continues forward because this is definitely a winnable map, especially due to the predilections of which team is playing which comp styles. I think that especially against a Ram comp like that, Doomfist can work incredibly well. Isolating backlines, doing confident dives, and hitting those big ol' slams, those big ol' 50 damage now ultimates. I mean, that is something that could be really, really solid for the University of Hartford, as we've already seen on that second map of Lijiang. So even on some maps that maybe dive might not work the best on, would be really good for the University of Hartford to go, but it is their map pick. They can set the pace here, and hopefully that is exactly what they're looking to do as they decide the next map that they will be going into, which will be hybrid. So very exciting things for the University of Hartford here, even though they are still down 0-1 to Cedarville University Yellow. And I'm gonna assume that you're just doing some background stuff. One thing I gotta mention it every single time. Very much a big shout out to Eric Culver, not only a commentator but also the team leader, and the person kind of directing this entire team, not only coaching but doing a lot of odd stuff, managerial work and stuff like that. So let him cook for a little while, and instead, why don't we all just take a step over and look at some? Let's look at the name game here. So it could be up on stream, it could not. Either way, we'll just like read through it. For the side of University of Hartford, you know them, you love them. That's going to be Trueblade 16 on the tank line. Cranky, Orimuro lining up on the DPS. Then we have Revan and Blackout doing a fantastic job in the backline. With a new addition, however, that must be taken into account of Aerial Lotus, which is going to be one of the new players that has joined the University of Hartford team here throughout the last couple weeks. And it's very exciting to see the new crop of members come up and help, as UHart, as any college or any school team, does have to deal with just the natural droppage of players graduating, moving on with their lives. But Aerial Lotus, fantastic name all the same. Trueblade 16 and Blackout, as we've talked about in the past with the name game, those numbers definitely cause a little bit of a sticky wicket in the mind of me. However, it's definitely something important to bring up is we look at the side of Cedarville University Yellow. That's going to be, I don't remember the exact roles they were all playing, but we have D3VX1SE, Scorpio 2, Boosh, solid name, Team R5 Lead R, Hothead Skull. Some interesting names, some classic internet elite speak, if you do speak the old language, as many have decided to call it. Overall, however, I think I'm going to have to give this to the University of Hartford, and I think this, tepidly as I said that statement, I think it's an easy choice to make. I think that device, as I'm assuming that should probably be pronounced, is just a cacophony of atrocious letters and number combination that I hate. The fact that they have 5 endorsement levels is mind-boggling to me. With a name like that, I honestly would be hitting, the report button anytime I see that person in-game. So hopefully I don't run into them into comp, as that's going to be a hard flame VC leave and report, and probably asking for a 9x in match chat. And then Team R5 Lead R. Probably my least favorite name construction is just dropping vowels. I think that's incredibly goofy. I think God gave us vowels for a reason. And if we decide not to use them, that is laughing in the face of our creator in an absurd fashion that should simply be only done by heretics and foul beasts alike. So solid job was on the name for the University of Hartford. I think this is maybe the second week in a row that they actually have won the name game. So good one. But I do want to give a best shout out to the individual best name that we have here in this lobby, and it's a toss up for me, but I think it's going to go over to Boosh. A close second place being Aerial Lotus, due to the newness of it, but I also love the word aerial, and I think a simple one word, second word combination, though classic, some would even say basic, is tantalizing to me. It's very interesting, but it's going to have to go to Boosh for the individual best name in the lobby currently, as it's Boosh. It's just fun to say. It's comes off the tongue nicely. It's Boosh. But we do see here, once again, that's going to be Cedarville University up 1-0 heading into hybrid here, as the University of Hartford has elected to go to Kings Row. Not a traditional dive map, but one that could definitely go either way, especially if there are struggles, but we will see the University of Hartford here starting off on defense on the more traditional brawl comp. I think that if there's a place to not play dive, that would definitely be defense on a non-dive specific map such as Kings Row. So University of Hartford here starting off in a smart way with the Ramatra, the Reaper, Mei combination, all really close range characters that can get healed up by two very close range healers, that being the Moira in the hands of Revan and then the Lucio in Blackout. Not only able to heal up, but also speed them around and make this brawl comp without a Lucio very slow, but with Lucio able to speed into backlines, do very amazing things, and especially kite away from things. So here we go, University of Hartford versus Cedarville University Yellow on Kings Row, second map. UHart is down one, but we will see exactly how this goes in 1 second as we get into this map. And 15 seconds off the board, just walking out. I think Cedarville University might be a little scared of the potential of the Doomfist lurking, but once they see the comp, they kick it into high gear, get around that corner. Scorpio brought incredibly low. Boosh able to find a kill, however, but Scorpio still low, but Boosh working the magic in the backline. An odd choice for the Brig here, but the Brig does manage to finish off Revan, so who am I to complain, I guess? And that's going to be a good point, at least, like, positioning here for the side of CU as Triple 16 is finally chased down. A fantastic job from Boosh. Yeah, instead of just inting there, Triple 16 just edging that out a little too long.
No.
A fantastic job, however, from Boosh to be able to get all those kills.
Oh, Triple just narrowly getting that close respawn too. Fortunate timing for him, as Hartford's going to be have to be careful not to get staggered here. Finally, grouped as 5. Now, at this point, Hartford needs to identify what their win condition is. And now, looking at the compositions, right? Mei, Reaper, Moira, you need to be playing fast. You need to be getting on top of these people. And the Zen is really the core tool for Cedarville. If their Zen is able to sit back and get crazy value, that's just free. Hartford, Joe, Orimaru looking to swing wide, perhaps looking for a deep Mei wall. Although this isn't really a scenario where they need to be. They can kind of just sit back. They don't have many ults, but they do look for the Coalescence engage first. Revan pulls out the ultimate. The team trying to push into this choke, pass into the sightlines of this enemy team, and could be dangerous. Revan trying to find something. The ultimate does come out. Orimaru close to this Blizzard as well. Perhaps going to look to pop it as soon as he's out of this cryo. He does, and it's a massive freeze. Blade comes out as well, and so many frozen, but nobody's able to be taken out as team leader goes crazy in the back line. Hartford falls. 4 ults invested for the side of Cedarville, as Hartford needs to find a solution and be prepared for this this overclock that they're walking into.
I think I'm going to be brave and say that I think that's something here that could change for UHart, as macro as this sounds, is the whole comp, or at the very least, what you're going to be doing with the comp. This is a very weak backline for the side of CU. It pumps out a lot of damage, but it can't live against something like this, as we can see the effectiveness of walking and pressing Q. Triple 16 able to quite simply annihilate that backline just by hyper-focusing them with one singular ultimate. That was a fantastic effort by the side of University of Hartford, and they're going to start to be able to build up this time bank a little bit more on this second point. But that's exactly what you need to do against that weak of a backline. You can simply just walk over a Zen or a Brig. Dives typically would be very, very popular here, but University of Hartford opting to just wait through this archway. They're showing a little bit more than they probably should right now, as they are just very obviously seen, as this might be considered to be a sneaky play with the Mei hiding, but everybody was just shooting and jiggling their butts in front of the archway.
And that's a kill.
But they get a kill, so my hands are up.
Go running down this backline just like that. Love to see the adaptation, love to see the improvement from the University of Hartford. Cranky looking to make something work, has the help of Blackout trying to chase down this Sojourner. If they can get this kill, that is massive. Now Hartford, again, back in the driver's seat here. Now it's going to be curious to see how Cedarville adapts to this setup that Hartford has.
Yeah, this is I'm sorry, I'm still a little befuddled. Typically this would be a hider play for the teams that I've played with in the past. We're just making noise. But the Annihilation comes out on the side of CU, and a great beat timing, no longer using those for aggressive. Like you just said, the adaptation here for the University of Hartford. Like, yeah, we lost Archway the first fight when Cart was actually there, but heck it, as long as second point hasn't been taken, I'm going to take back Archway because that's what I want to fight. A lot of damage done to Cranky, mostly by himself.
I think the message Hartford is trying to send right now is, and it's largely based on these compositions, we don't care if you know we're here. You're playing a comp that can't push into us. So we can sit right here and we will not let you pass. Now, that being said, there's a Baptiste.
Yeah, Baptiste, and much more importantly, a blade that immediately gets erased as Cranky's able to whip that out. However, I don't think anybody has taken note of the cart being moved back. Triple 16 finally going back for it. So it should be an easy kill for him, but
Use
as
your
he turns his back,
Anyways.
everybody else loses a lot of life there. Cranky going down after their ult as well. This Orisa swap, definitely a tough one to deal with, especially in that microcosm there. We'll see if the University of Hartford is able to actually recontest on second point. There's only a couple meters left to go, and a lot of them in spawn, it seems rather unlikely.
But that being said, Hartford has pulled it together, and they've forced the competition of Cedarville to switch their comp a lot. Notice, oh, not quite able to make that slide. Revan also on this Baptiste. Notice they switched off of the Brigitte to this Baptiste, which is, it's going to make it the life of the Genji player for their team a lot more difficult, not having those brick packs to play around. And at the same time, again, Cranky on this Sojourn, we saw it go and do wonders in that previous round, looking to see how much value it gets in number 2. Freeze comes out, gets the Orisa, is able to take them out. A good Rom shield Baptiste on this flank. Going to be a little dangerous, but the Lucio is there to completely swarm over him. And Hartford, again, get the hold and get to set up. Just 2 or 3 fights remain for the side of Cedarville as they look to try and complete this first objective, or this final objective.
Yeah, and it should be really important for Cedar University to actually go all the way here. I think that something we've seen rather common here is a little bit of overtimeage in every map that University of Hartford plays here. They have a good aggressive attack style that they can play with, especially after seeing some of the other things that they ran on previous maps. However, Boosh trying to set the pace here, trying to say, no, we don't need 3 fights. We need this one right here. And they're chasing down Revan on the Baptiste. A little harder for him to get out, especially when he gets discorded like that. And Team Leader getting very deep. Forces the Suzu and the TP from his Kiriko. Not going to be forced down by the University of Hartford's team. However, the Annihilation pops out. And a very low HP, that's going to be easy kill by Scorpio 2. However, Orimaru trading out that Kiriko, who used all their abilities to save that Genji. Will they be able to touch here? The beat comes out. They're going to make their way over there. Whoa, looking for the Zen.
Huge
yep, we don't stand that close to the edge, man.
Now, I do have to say, a little bit of an uh-oh, as so much was just invested. And so much is on the table for Cedarville coming into this game. I'm not sure if we wanted to use that sound barrier, as they're going to have a Dragon Blade, they'll have Trance, they'll have Overclock. This is going to be a really difficult fight for the University of Hartford, and it's largely going to revolve around Cranky finding a pick on their backline with a good rail shot, or Orimaru getting a high value wall. Those are going to be the core 2 options for the University of Hartford. And option number 1 is already off the table as the wall is very low value.
Yeah, an interesting wall, however, cryoing on point here to try and deny. The Blade not getting as much value as they wanted, however, still able to take out Blackout.
This Zenyatta nearly feeding, but Orimaru does get pushed off the map. Not able to find these kills. Orimaru dies with the Blizzard, and with 4.2 seconds remaining, they secure an overtime, worst case scenario, overtime for their next round.
Yeah, no, that was interesting to say the least. I think that was one of those things where you need to kind of hedge your bets and see, especially when you mult track and recognize, okay, they're coming in heavy here. This is going to be a difficult position for us to be in as the defending team. What can we do to secure map victory as opposed to simply stopping them right here and right now? Would have been a great idea to just try and int onto point, get those 4 seconds erased so that we could force an overtime draw or win scenario. Would have been best for the University of Hartford. However, it's still all on the table for you, Hart. As we're about to see what comp they're running, and I got fingers crossed. Still looking like a Ram comp, still going to be looking like a whole lot of Brawl. Definitely thought the Doomfist could have been brought out at some point. I think that there are opportunities for that, especially with like the weakness in the backline for Cedarville University Yellow here. If they're going to keep on playing the Zen, or perhaps even bring out the Brig again like they did last at the beginning of their attack phase, would have been a fantastic idea to at least play with that idea, try and get that. However, especially with the Baptiste Zen, the Doomfist could just blow up like Swiss cheese. However, I don't think there's a single tank in the game that wouldn't. So maybe being able to get a little bit of utility done before then would have been a good idea. However, University of Hartford sticking with this idea. They have the Baptiste as a little bit of a change, and instead of the Reaper, they're going to be going with the Sojourn as well as they roll out on the tried and true all blue, all American Ram comp here.
And it's a very, very similar matchup between these two teams. Most noticeable difference is the Mei versus Genji and the Kiriko instead of the Lucio. So, no speed for the University of Hartford. Oh, what a shot by Cranky, just removing the head from Boosh, one of the big carries for this team of Cedarville, and that gives a massive advantage for the University of Hartford as ults, no ults on the table, just a sheer numbers benefit, and Hartford gonna see what they can make from this.
Yeah, as you do see the transform coming out, forcing into immortality from the side of Revan. However, they're just cleaning up here. University of Hartford, though they're taking it slow, they are taking it as they manage to finish off a lot of these kills. A little bit of disjointed nature fighting here as the Kiriko maybe looking for a TP here, but gets finished off instead. Boosh, however, still able to find a pick. Will not stop this point from capping, but like you said earlier, Boosh is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Hopefully Cranky continuing to win those 1v1s, if not just getting those early picks onto such a pivotal character or player to actually be dealing with on the side of Cedarville Yellow. So University of Hartford starting their streets phase with a little bit more time than Cedarville did, in a great position to be in as they start to eye up this archway. Both teams opting to not go for any sort of secrecy. Maybe this is just a my team thing, is the secrecy on archway. I'm starting to learn that.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, there's not much of a need for secrecy since it's often pretty telegraphed that a team would be hiding here anyways. This is one of the most powerful chokes in this game, like in any map of Overwatch. Holding it is pretty standard.
Yeah, but University of Hartford doing a fantastic job here, not losing a lot there and building up the annihilation as they just go straight into the backline, able to take out Devise, just immediately erased, blocking for a little bit extra. But once again, look at the weakness in the backline here. There's not a lot of utility. They may not even have a full-on main support player, as we haven't seen Cedarville University messing too hard with what we would consider to be traditional main supports. I have no Lucio from my recollection so far throughout this match, and now we're seeing the Baptiste Ana. Yeah, high heals, pretty good solid ultimates to boost up your teammates and how they play. However, pretty weak to any sort of pressure, especially if you're not going to hold very far back like you should be when playing an Ana in a comp like this. But it seems a little Frankenstein-esque, a little bit slapstick and put together last second. So University of Hartford in a great position, the overclock coming out from Cranky as they are on the high ground, in optimal position to be able to use it.
A great sound though. That just buying so much time and negating almost the entirety of this Dragon Blade. Oh, but the Blizzard does get eaten. Revan, now the only player on his team with an ultimate available. Curious to see if he opts to use it or if he decides to hold on to it. Numbers advantage is going in favor of the University of Hartford. Genji just trying to make a flip of this fight if he can. That being said, nothing is going to come of it, and Hartford able to roll into third point with a 4.5-minute time bank.
And like we said, I mean, UHart has a very good attack strategy. This has been a very solid, slow, but effective steamroll through this second point and through the first point. Hopefully they're going to keep it up, but even if they falter, even if they stagger, they have a lot of time on the board here, and that is going to make all the difference as we head into overtime, potentially, for this University of Hartford team. And they're taking good position, they're setting their aggressive pace as well as they possibly can, and they're doing a fantastic job at both of those things, as Cranky taking the high ground manages to find team leader again.
Cranky is going crazy this game on the Sojourn. This man has been blocked in Reaper and Echo Jail for the past 3 weeks, and does get a little bit of caught off guard. But that's a boop off the map by Blackout. Surprise, surprise, it doesn't matter. True Blade 16, he's gonna annihilate your backline, and here he goes.
Wow, what does Ana do in that situation? You don't have sleep, that's pretty much a nothing. That is a nothing burger overall, as almost setting Orimaru off the side. Scorpio 2 does fall, however, as this is going to be a fraught effort. Few meters remaining as University of Hartford does manage to finish their attack phase with a great, healthy time bank of adjusted to 4 minutes and 28 seconds compared to the 1 minute of attack available on the side of Cedarville University. And that's a great position to be in. That is almost as good as capping with no time on the side of Cedarville. So University of Hartford putting everything they had into that and doing a fantastic job overall at that time for that push there.
Oh, just imagine if Hartford stalled their defense for 4 seconds.
Imagine if, and I think that they probably could have, but it's a very niche, esoteric thing to try and force them to reconsider. Well, you could have just got rid of those 4 seconds, man. Like, why didn't you just do that? They still put themselves in a very solid position, and no matter what, it was gonna come down to them also capping all three. And they did as much as they possibly could have asked for, but it does feel sucky when it's only 4 seconds, you know? Like you could have just jumped on the point or done something to try and affect the change that would have really mattered. But University of Hartford in a great position here. They just got to burn a little time each fight, even if they're losing. As long as they're burning that time, they are doing their job and then some.
This is an
I
interesting
see our cameraman.
part of the map. We don't get to see this part more. Anyways, Cranky, he's playing Sojourn. Bush, though, on the Widowmaker. Just kidding, on the Tracer. And a massive comp switch up for the side of Cedarville. That being said, Trueblade finds the first kill, finds the second kill, and they're just saying, get out of our way, we're running through here. I like the stagger. Might have forced their Baptiste's lamp, but that being said, it's an extra many seconds that they get. And ooh, we see a Malga coming out. Curious to see how Trueblade reacts, how he plays differently, knowing that this Malga is now on the table.
I've heard that Malga has gotten some buffs, as we talked about earlier. Changes are happening, and changes are happening to Trueblade 16's health pool. Oh. But into the Maga immediately, actually. It's like he reflected all the damage he just took.
Blackout
I wasn't paying attention, but that was very fast.
Alive. But Cranky, he says, you don't have to worry about healing, Blackout. I've got it with the damage. I've got it all taken care of. They won't be dealing any more damage to our team because they are dead. That being said, Malga is not dead, and he gets another kill on Org. But
yeah, but a last-ditch effort, not finding a lot of purchase here, as not even the Lucio can touch after that. The Malga 1v5ing, not always the best idea, even if they do manage to pick up one. But it was all they could possibly do. It was anything and everything that they had left in the tank to try and capture. However, they get 0%, and just like we talked about earlier, they force the draw or win scenario, and this is a great position to be in as a team, especially with 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the board. You could try out 5 different comps in that time. So hopefully they get it right on the first one. Don't want to make it too big on all you lovely viewers at home. Obviously, I hope you all have things to do after this or want to get in a good rest, especially speaking as a caster. Wouldn't want this to go too incredibly long. However, still, they have a lot of time to burn here, so they can do anything and everything in their power to be able to deny. And yeah, I might have heard that Maga got buffs, but I don't think we run out on that. I think CU is maybe committing the cardinal sin of being a goober
now,
by starting off with the Maga here.
Now,
oh, never mind, a fast swap.
We've got a very interesting situation on our hands. This is not something you see very often. Hartford has more time to cap the first objective than they did at the start of the game. That's how dominant they were on their attack phase, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. They managed to gain all that extra time from all the well things that they did, not only after first point, but second point and third point. So all they need to do is now just replicate the magic that they had on first point. And that was going to be through solid, slow, confident, and effective pushes. And a solid pick from Cranky here. That's definitely the eye that we probably should keep an eye on here, as they're looking through main. They're not getting a lot of picks or a lot of damage to build this rail necessarily, but you can feel the fear in the entire CU's team. They won't peek him. They don't even want to see his face. That's like it's like seeing a demon, honestly. We're going to see a little bit of a coordinated play here, University of Hartford, with the speed, getting all the way over, leaving Cranky for an off angle. Could be very solid as they bring down Baptiste to singular HP.
Oh, and he's walking right into
but he's walking the wrong way!
Oh, and Blackout is there to clean him up. Hartford now recognize their advantage, and they just choose to collapse. Genji trying to do a 1v4, 1v5 imitation, not able to make it work. And Hartford with a clean King's Row, bring us back to a tied series, 1-1.
Listen, I think if there was anybody on the University of Hartford team that I would not want to meet at low HP in a back alley fighting for my life, I think I'd have to give that to Blackout. I think that is somebody I simply would not want to mess with in that scenario. Like, that is something that I would run for high heaven. I would go back to spawn. I might even alt F4 if that were me. That's a tough position to be put in as a Baptiste, but they coordinated it so well because they just took so much damage on the rotation up, and they were able to finish off that rotation exactly where they wanted to, and just lured their Baptiste into a perfect trap. So, like we said, 1-1 apiece for UHeart and for CU here. An effective King's Row, and they didn't even need to pull out the comp that I would say they looked the cleanest on. They didn't even use the Doom there, but they just bossed up. They learned so much from their last match, and they would keep their heads in it and bring this series back to a tie. And from here, the sky is the limit as things have been reset, and both teams are equitably marked here to either win it all or lose it all. So, big ups to the University of Hartford doing a fantastic job on King's Row. As we will be waiting for the next map, and it should be either Cervasa. I didn't know if it was going to be 5CP or Escort, but
It was
5CP is coming up, so 50-50 coin flip.
It was selected to be Cedarville. So, what are you thinking Hartford should be running out here?
Bro, Doom is so swaggy. I just want to see Doom. I just want to see Doom gameplay. I'll be honest. Listen, I play. I run my own team, and it's been a whole lot of fun. One decision that I made within the last year was we had a tank already who was really, really solid, but they didn't play a lot of Doomfist. So we picked up a Doomfist player and then forced them to play Lucio, just so that we had them in our back pocket. Just in case a Doom meta comes around, we're just like, okay, we're going to wait until it's your time to shine, and then we're just going to unlock you. And I think it might be now. I think the time is now for every person to, if you don't know Doomfist, learn it. If you are a Doomfist main, shake off the dried, crusted socks off your bed, clean up everything, boot up the webcam, and start streaming. Because you can get some good viewers swagging on these people, doing a solid job on the Doomfist here, especially with how prevalent I'm expecting him to be after this mid-season patch.
Absolutely. And we are now getting into it. Wait, if I do this yeah, that's a little better. All right. Now that being said, we're going right into this next game of Cedarville, and I would say I think the Doom comp could find a lot of success for the University of Hartford, but the comp I would like to see the most is undoubtedly anything with Sojourn. I think Sojourn is without a doubt going to be Hartford's best bet, because that cranky guy, he's something else.
He's mad today. He's mad. He's elevated from cranky to like perturbed. It's incredible. He's really locked in.
He's a warlock. Ooh. Now, it seems like Hartford is
what?
They're kind of doing what you suggested. They're rolling out with the Doomfist. They got the Doom, Tracer, Kiri, Lucio, and Sojourn, and now Cedarville bringing out the similar comp from that last round with the Ramatra, May, Genji, Baptiste, and Lucio.
That warlock, man. That warlock and cranky. Hopefully he Nova bombs. But we do see University of Hartford opting to not even play first point Cervasa in the traditional fashion. They go wide here, which is a great place to set up for your Sojourn, but typically it's so individualistic to be benefit towards Sojourn that you don't see a lot of teams even when they are playing a Sojourn. But being too good, especially up against a deflex, is going to lead to a headshot, and all he gets is headshots, even if it's on himself. And then you see Orimuro here, able to equalize it, kill the Zenyatta there, and set up a pretty good position. They might cap first here, but that's a-okay for a Doomfist comp. You're going to be looking for the periphery, you're going to be looking for picks or high levels of damage, and without a Sojourn in the mix right now, you're going to want to wait for that to come back, or at the very least, let Revan get a headshot or two and then go in after the fact. So, University of Hartford playing wide and looking for an opportunity.
We have seen a switch come through by the... Oh, punch just narrowly missed it. But we see Hothead Skull switching to the Brigitte. Curious to see how this plays out as Brig is brought incredibly low. Not quite able to find this finish. Brig just doing wonders, but not as much as this Doomfist is, as he is pounding this cooldown rotation over and over and over. This man has gotten every punch reset.
Yeah, this is insane. We're cycling ultimates faster than a bicycle. This is crazy. The University of Hartford doing a really good job on the Doomfist comp, and not just because of Triple H 16 doing a good job on the Doomfist, but also in general, we have everyone else working around it well. You just keep on pummeling, you keep on putting them into a position where people can continue to get good damage on them, but not putting yourself in too dangerous of a scenario in which you aren't able to capitalize off of that, or at the very least, save yourself from the damage. It's a lot more of an individualistic comp overall. However, it can work well when you're still working in concert with each other. And I will say, I do find the Brig to be a little bit odd. I don't think Brig's best matchup against the dive is going to be a Doomfist. However, the Blade coming in here on the side of Team Leader, not finding a lot, but they are able to flip map because of it. But like we said earlier, that's kind of what you want. Just disengage, kite, get the kill, and then get back into the fight. And Blade 16, getting some good punches, shoving them off the point, putting them into the wall, bullying them, locking them in the closet. Oh, everything you could possibly need as Cranky's following up with that good damage.
Oh, they also invest the rally here. I'm not sure if they think it's winnable or what, but Hothead Skull over-investing, maybe just deciding they're going to be switching off, perhaps, as Hartford...
Yeah, that would be the play.
Hartford was in a very equal situation at the end of that previous fight, having, you know, the danger of just 99% on the board for Cedarville. But with the Brigitte ultimate being used, Hartford, they just get this shooting range as they can just blast down this line. Cranky not finding much, but does force a lot of health out of this Ramatra and eventually does take him out. Great play by the University of Hartford Doomfist from Blade 16, finding punch after punch. It's unbelievable how many punch resets this man is getting off of this empowered punch, or off of the power block.
Yeah, I mean, at this skill level, I think that Doomfist is just so incredibly well placed. I'm really happy that they decided to go with this comp. It's a wide map. You can kind of get around a bunch, but also, because of the craziness of every individual point, you can have each member, like the points on the Star of David, take positions around the point and just deal with their own little fights with the Doomfist bouncing in between each one of them like the interconnecting lines. Just bouncing from fight to fight, pushing people into each other, pushing them into the Sojourn, into the Tracer, into the Lucio, who then boops them back into the Doomfist to punch him again. This is beautiful cycling.
And now Hartford again setting up with really good angles. They've got the Lucio and Sojourn holding on that left side. Doomfist looking to maybe try and punch the Ramatra off the map or two, but not quite able. But again, another punch reset. Oh, he goes a little wide on that one. And Blackout is taken out. But another punch reset. They've got to stop giving them to him because he's going to run over your backline every time. He does finally get taken out with a good hinder grenade by Bush and follow up by Team Leader. Hartford, though, still very much in the driver's seat of this fight as Orimaru just running rampant in their backline, takes out Device, and eventually is going to get the probably clean up on this Ramatra. Nicely done.
I do have to mention, because it's been irritating me because I was the first one to say it, but I do think that Device would actually be pronounced Devise, which I think is what you initially had said. But it's the only DM/message that I've received from Arlo that I could say on stream, so it is something that I am thinking about. Shout out to Nift/Arlo in the chat, and thank you to everybody else for watching right now, as Uhart is doing a fantastic job. I mean, like you said, you gotta stop shooting the Doomfist. Like, that's step one, I think, for Cedarville University's plan to get back into this fight here. But they have another powered up punch. They decide to cancel it. They want to let them in a little bit, but they're at such a good time. A great beat for this ultimate on the side of Team Leader. Oh, still able to find one at low HP. Finally gets finished.
Blade pulls out the ultimate, looking to squish onto this Cassidy, and that's exactly what happens. Orisa and Moira, Orisa and two supports, all that remains. A great punch stuns the Moira out of the ultimate and brings them incredibly low, sitting on top of the point. Cranky there to finish him up. Another powered punch. Nearly another one on top of that, as it's just an Orisa that remains for the side of Cedarville. And eventually they're going to get taken out in Hartford on a dominant performance here on Suravasa.
This is a tear. This is looking fantastic for the University of Hartford. This is the comp, baby. It's looking fantastic. I think University of Hartford really has found a home in this. I think Blade 16 is feeling himself. He's moving with a little bit of swag, a little bit of je ne sais quoi, as you could say, as the kids in France are saying these days. But everybody else is also on such a strong hero for them to play. Revan is fantastic on the Kiriko. Blackout is known for how good he is on the Lucio. And Cranky, I mean, do I have to say it again? It's Cranky. as he does get taken out by Boosh, but Orimuro and the coordination between the two of them, he'll sacrifice his life to be able to win that, and it doesn't matter because they're in a good position. Boosh, one of the strongest players on the side of CU, already out before this fight technically even starts.
Yeah, Bush in King's Row was kind of the reason that they had the success they did, but you know, we haven't been seeing it in this last map, which has really been beneficial for the University of Hartford. And I think these divey compositions is part of that reasoning. Alright, they're able to get on and overwhelm Boosh, and he's trying to play this Cassidy as a way to mitigate this value, and mitigate the dive a little bit with his magnetic grenade, perhaps using the roll to survive a little bit longer, but it's really not paying out as it's such a strong isolatable target for Hartford to just engage on every single fight.
Absolutely. I mean, like, even if the Doomfist isn't the one dealing with the Cassidy, like you said, others can. And others have been so far. I mean, I feel like only one fight has actually occurred, and we're already at 80% here. I feel like I just time skipped. University of Hartford, 10% now, away from just winning this point outright. Finally, a JQ swap coming over. A beat coming out a little bit defensively, maybe a little offensively. Oh my god, that was good. That was good.
And now Hartford in a numbers advantage here, and Ultimate's just barely able to pull that one out of True Blade. And just erased. And that's going to spell the end of Cedarville. What a great performance by the University of Hartford. A great reversal from the previous week's performance.
That shit was wet. that was clean from top to bottom. The University of Hartford doing a fantastic job. Orimuro was spending $20 on this highlight intro. Utterly insane. Just had to drop that little bit of knowledge. But look at that punch pulse. Fantastic job. And then a little bit of cleanup here. The Kiriko erased. The Cassidy focused down. And then killed by True Blade 16. This is just... Like I said, and it's the one person that I didn't get to mention, sadly, but I'm glad they got to play the game to have a little bit of their time in the sun. Orimuro, also on that Tracer, one of their best characters. I truly think this is the comp if they can continue to go onto maps where dive is going to be something that they can run. Maybe not a dive traditional map, but something that they can bend towards the realm of dive is going to continue to be incredibly solid. Cedarville is not well known for having Doomfist comps or dives in general being the most prevalent comp on that map, but they are still running it, and they're still doing a fantastic job at that because of how good each individual is at their heroes and at playing that comp. I definitely want to hand it over as a question to you. As the coach of the team, has this been a comp that you guys have been playing a lot? Did you anticipate or plan for this meta by playing this comp, or is this literally just a last-second thing that they pulled out?
This is a composition that Hartford has been practicing. It's been very... it's been very common and seen off and on throughout the Overwatch, Champion Series. We've seen a lot of teams scrimming this at the highest level, and it's something that fits a lot of our comfort picks very well. True Blade has loved the Doomfist ever since the start of the game came out in Overwatch 2, and I mean everyone else, they've been playing all of those heroes. The biggest thing for this team has just been identifying how the pieces fit together, and even more specifically, how the pieces change into different situations, right? Now they're running Orisa. They're not... what was their backline? The Moira Baptiste, right? Understanding how Hartford has to adapt into these different situations is something they've been improving very well in the last many weeks.
And the improvements have definitely been showing today as they're doing a fantastic job, and we are heading towards another map where the Doomfist is viable. And I think I'm crossing my fingers, all my fingers, and my little toesies, hoping that they run out on the Doomfist here, as Coliseum was a great map to abuse that, and this could be... Okay, you know what? I'm going to say it. This could be a less than a 10-minute match. Listen, Coliseum, especially if you have a good dive...
Alright, well, GG's, guys. Oh. GG's. Hartford's losing this one. Peter's cursed you.
I hope I did. Montezuma's revenge comes for all of us in the end. There is no escape. Oh my god, wait a second. I've got an entire cast within days of watching Dune 2 and not made a single Dune 2 reference. That's just subpar from me.
A little disappointed.
Well, I'm incredibly disappointed. But don't worry, I have like 5 locked up right now, so... I'm ready to shoot them as soon as the University of Hartford is ready to shoot them, as we are getting right into this Coliseum. Once again, let's refresh your memory on what the score is right now. University of Hartford up 2-1 after a fantastic Servasa and King's Row performance. What?
I thought of a Dune joke to make, but I missed my moment.
A Dune 2-1?
No. But that is the
Dune
current
2.
score.
That is the current score, as University of Hartford doing a fantastic job not only on King's Row to reset the pace, but then also on Servasa. That was 300% practically 2-0. A very effective job from them as well on that map, as we now take it into Coliseum, where we're seeing it. Buccos and Buckarettes, we are seeing it. The Doomfister and his misters rolling out here.
He has no sisters. He's here to...
No. He's here to absolutely mess them up as he's getting towards the spot rather fast, and we will see maybe the most influential part of this map.
Already.
What Scorpio 2 is going to be playing. The JQ isn't bad into the Doomfist. Ooh, wow, and an immediate pick onto Orimuru. Manages to get the Cassidy low, but Triple 16.
Oh, where is this Kiriko? Kiriko unable to save his Doomfist in this situation. Gonna have to disengage and just try to live, try to reset as Hartford. Just narrowly able to survive this one.
And waiting for the teleport there, a smart play by Revan, not just overacting or overreacting to the situation. But yeah, this JQ is going to be very interesting to play against as the Doomfist. You can kind of get messed up in a couple of different ways, specifically by that Jagged Blade. It's going to be a tough one to play around, and all that bleed is going to make her live just a little bit longer. But she's a weaker compared to a lot of the other tanks that they have tried to throw at this Doomfist to try and deny it, but can play a little bit faster. But Boosh coming online, simply just falling into a feeling, a vibe of their own, and able to take out Orimuru 2 fights first, back to back.
I think something Hartford could consider is keeping the rest of this composition, but just adding adding something like a Mei. Mei is something I see as a great consistent option when struggling against a Junker Queen composition. I think Hartford's standard like brawling comp would be really dominant against what Cedarville is currently running. That being said, this is a very, very difficult performance for Hartford to match right now, as it seems Cedarville has seen and identified their weakness and has adapted very well.
Yeah, I think I would say that, but I also think that the University of Hartford's kind of just beefing it a little bit. I think that the Tracer dying first fight twice is incredibly tough. They could have gone a lot wider instead of engaging so fast in both of those fights without any setup. I think on Servasa it was a little bit easier to see, or at least easier to flow into, because of how the points are structured. But
dead already.
Like, that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a pulse though. That's hot. That's nice, but it ain't good.
Hartford, though,
never mind, but the rest of Europe, clean it up.
Hartford is there to clean this one. Revan, a couple nice headshots. And ultimates are on board for the University of Hartford as we see Orimuru switching off of the Tracer and over to the Genji. Interested to see how this plays out for him, as Genji hasn't been seeing quite as much playtime in the recent weeks, but it's a known comfort pick for Orimuru.
Absolutely.
And now we see this Kitsune Russian. Hartford just looking to try and take out this queen really, really early on, but not quite able to do it. Cranky still holding onto this ultimate, and Blackout, I'm hoping, chooses to save his for defensive purposes. The ult does come out. Oh, and the Kiriko from the University of Hartford, Revan, brought super low. True Blade, though, able to find a kill on Boosh in the backline. Doesn't quite land his axe wing. Revan going crazy, taking out the tank from the other side. And Hartford still perhaps in the driver's seat, as they're in a 4v5 situation here. Or, sorry,
yeah,
4v3.
Doing very well. As they're trying to get just the final picks here to finish these guys off. Honestly, it doesn't matter. They're just going to be able to push the bot. But Blackout able to chase down a couple of these kills, and I love the aggression there from Blackout. Able to finish off those little stragglers, especially putting them in a position where they're staggered, and they might be able to get very close to, if not all the way to, forward spawns here. Very effectively. Cranky taking a solid position on height to prevent the infinite stall that is available. Overclock finally popped. A dash going through that Cassidy, forcing him off the high ground. And then a slide for Cranky, getting away from all that axe damage that was going to be coming after him. Revan, however, still taken down by that Genji. Blackout able to equalize by taking out Boosh. And a great ult then countered by the beat on the side of Cedar University. But still a lot of health coming in, and a lot of good positioning here for University of Hartford, as they're trying to finish off some of these kills that they've brought in so low.
The sound barrier there to protect his team from this rampage, but the Dragon Blade is still going to be very dangerous. Blade does come out, and it doesn't find anyone right off the bat, but a couple dash resets come through, and that's a instant fight win for team leader and the Cedarville Yellow roster.
Yeah, and CU able to push it all the way back, and with a faster bot moving, that's changed from a couple of patches ago, but still very influential here as they're able to get all the way back and potentially unlock forward spawns for themselves, which already unlocked, but then regain them here and get a little bit of progress here on the push. Blade coming out to try and deny all this aggression. The Lucio was sent to Uganda and somehow is still managing to come back as the University of Hartford, capitalizing on their absence and utilizing that Blade. Ooh. Finally goes all the way out as Blackout, able to send him off the map once again like we're playing Smash Brothers.
Now Hartford back in control of this payload, and Ultimate's a very, very equal position here. Revan with the Kitsune Rush is going to be the only one on his team with anything online. A good knife from True Blade 16, nearly able to get a kill onto the Genji, but not quite. And now an Orisa switch has been made by Scorpio 2, and Hartford gonna look and see how they can utilize their Junker Queen into this matchup as Knife finds a kill onto the Lucio and just alley-oops his team. A great shot again. Orimaru there for the cleanup. And Hartford with a good fight win. 1 ult to 0. And it doesn't seem like Hothead Skull knows what he wants to play, as they do get these stagger kills.
Yeah, they're deciding in spawn the same way that Scorpio 2 is, as they swap over to the Hog almost immediately, and they're trying to deal with True Blade 16 here, but True Blade 16, I don't think he cares. he's just schmoovin'. I mean, those are some fantastic Jagged Blades overall, though just also fantastic general primary fires. Gets hooked in, hits the Jagged Blade on the Hog. It's almost impossible to miss at that range, but this is a great way to start off this fight, doing quite a lot of damage. Boosh, however, able to still find Orimaru and still going on to the aggression in the backline, but not a lot of ability to get that cleanse, or at the very least waiting on the cooldown. Oh, as University of Hartford still loses this, however, the Hog, at the very least, able to survive is almost more important than being able to functionally set anything up.
I would love True Blade
Team
16
able to get forward spawns.
I would love True Blade 16 to consider a swap. Maybe he doesn't want to swap. Maybe he shouldn't swap. But it may be something to think about. Is it worth running this Junker Queen into this Hog? Or, you know, is the Hog a hard counter to this Junker Queen? I think it's something that we'll have to see and play by ear, as it heavily depends on the knife accuracy. Blade comes out from the Genji of Team Leader and High Noon as well. Both get negated by Blackout's good sound barrier, and now Ultimate's in favor. Orimaru pulls out the blade, goes slashing dash, shing, 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 finding so much value. Now Genji getting hunted down by this duo tag team trio, actually, of the supports, and Orimaru as Hartford are able to get control of the bot yet again and may be able to take the lead here.
Yeah, this is a great position to be in.
Oh, this Hog is... That was a decision of... Whew. Oh, he nearly styles on him. But this could be very, very bad if Hartford isn't able to get the lead, but they do. The critical distance has been acquired, although it's still very, very close. Hartford needs to be playing careful here. Ultimate's on board. Revan is able to use this rush around this corner whenever he feels. Trueblade and Cranky both nearing their ults as well. Now, the big question Hartford needs to ask is, do we want to use our ults, or should we just wait and let them use theirs, save ours for defense? They opt to use this rush, and Orimaru counters the Roadhog Whole Hog with a deflect and just throws it back in his face. Great play by Orimaru on this Genji, and Hartford looking strong, looking to push this down this final stretch and see if they can push it into that checkpoint.
Absolutely, and they could get that, or they could even just still play, like you said, to allow them to make the first move and then react accordingly. They have ultimates online, ones that probably should be used a little bit more aggressively, but they're so far in the lead here. It will require so many back-to-back fights for the side of CU to actually win this one. Lucio brought incredibly low. Oh!
Massive ultimate from True Blade 16. Going ham in the backline, hits the long. Oh, is he able to? Oh, and he's able to get that off, but he doesn't have the teammates with him. The rest of his team decided to back out, just saying, "Hey, bud, let's call it." And Trueblade though, nearly finding 2 or 3 in that backline ultimate.
Why did Maduwa have to die? What is the point? He was him for a second. He was him.
Just want to see him.
Yeah, I do want to see him. If we swap over to the him camera, fantastic shots already, just putting the fear of God back into these people. They're going to need their own Messiah in a couple seconds, as the beat does come out on both sides here. Rather equal, 10 seconds left on the clock here, and University of Hartford in a fantastic position.
And
A great disengage by Orimuru and the whole team.
Oh, Revan just unfortunately getting taken out, but I love to see the clear communication by Hartford saying, hey, we don't have to win this, let's just back out. Let's just give them, let's not fight inside their rush. We're extremely close to the rush of our own, and if we're able to build that, we can use that and just run them over in this final fight.
Absolutely, and they have some good ultimates online already. They're going to wait for maybe a couple more, or just go for it whenever they see an advantageous position. Right now, like Boosh taking in a crazy amount of damage early. They do wait, however. This is a good position for them. They can do pretty much anything as the rush does come online. Blade Rush coming in, getting deep, no beat available. High Noon does take him out, but he's able to take down one before that, and Blackout able to finish out the other. He's brought down to 1 HP, and once again, Lisan Al-Gaib just back in the mix, just doing damage, getting kills. And that's going to be the University of Hartford, after losing the first map, being able to bring it back to 3-1 to finish off their dubski against Cedarville University's yellow team. A fantastic job from every single member of the University of Hartford. Each one should be incredibly proud. Bouncing back against such a tough and strife-ridden match last week. Keeping their heads high, however, sticking with it, and allowing their match record to still go up back to 5-1.
What a fun match. That was a great battle from both sides. And the Cedarville yellow roster needs to be proud of, how they battled in that matchup.
Absolutely, they adapted. They tried to continue to make strategies that would affect the strengths of the University of Hartford, and they did a fantastic job on a couple of those. They managed to finish off Li Jiang in an incredibly well coordinated play, but when it came to these more open maps, when it came to opportunities where University of Hartford has been practicing, has been improving, like Kings Row from last week being such a dumpster fire, but instead this week coming back and learning from a lot of their mistakes, learning how to kite, play together, utilize ultimates in conjunction with each other, as well as play for time a lot better. University of Hartford team simply came out on top today, so a fantastic job by the competitors of CU, but UHart coming out today on top and doing a fantastic job at that.
And it was a great battle. Hartford, after struggling a lot on the first map, they looked really, really good during the Gardens map of Li Jiang. They dominated on that Doomfist comp. Trueblade had a 3k punch off the map, I believe. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal performance. But they did struggle whenever they were taking those pseudo brawl matchups. And unfortunately, even though they looked really good during Night Market, they weren't able to pull it out in the end. But after that point, and more specifically after the mediocre defense, I'll say, on Kings Row, they flipped a switch and just steamrolled for the next 15 to 20 minutes of this match. And eventually, Cedarville did find a little bit of steam in that final map of Coliseo, but Hartford, there in the end, with the Trueblade Junker Queen, Orimuru pulling out this Genji, and they looked good and wrapped it out cleanly.
Absolutely, and I definitely want to see more of all these looks. I think that this patch has been incredibly kind, not only just to the general Overwatch community, but to the University of Hartford team and roster here. I think a lot of them are going to find great success on the characters that they played today, and hopefully they continue playing them, whether it be in ranked or continuing in the matches that we get to cast going forward in the future. I think for the most important question here, however, is definitely going to be who can come in and
it's got
a
to
little
be
bit of an interview with.
It's got to be.
I think it's got to be Trueblade, but I did want to ask. They are all on break right now. I don't know whether or not they actually have the technology at home to do so. So hopefully messages have been sent out already, and they will be acting accordingly.
Dragged shortly.
I would love to. Okay, I would absolutely love to have a little bit of a chat with the tank of the University of Hartford's team here. I think they did a fantastic job overall. And I get to ask them a couple of questions, see how they felt, and especially adapting to this new patches. It's something that I haven't personally played yet, but does look very good from what we got to see in the match today.
Let's drag him on in. Chat, please welcome TrueBlade 16, also known as Jack Pepin. Any chance you have a camera for us, Jack Pepin?
I do. Now, I'll let you decide. Lights on or off?
On.
Okay.
What?
Oh, my camera's...
Turn off, turn back on?
I'm turning it off and turning it back on. Give me a second. It should work. I don't know why it isn't. Is it plugged in properly? Maybe if I plug into a different port.
Maybe wait longer than a second?
Maybe shut the fuck up?
Maybe you're on stream?
Oh shit. Oh no. No. Damn it.
How was your day, Adam?
It was good. Played Overwatch. I got rank 1. I got rank 1 today.
You did get rank 1 today.
That was very cool. I've got the screenshot. I reached rank 1 in the new hero gauntlet. And I'm currently rank 10, last I saw. I may have been relegated down to the second page by now, but I hit rank 1 in the hero gauntlet, and it was a lot of fun. Malga is busted in that game mode, by the way. He's like...
I have heard.
He's like by far so much better than any other tank in that game mode. Yeah. He's very strong. It's very fun.
I believe it.
Okay, wait, let me instead just do this. See if this works.
I think I know the reason. If you give me like 2 seconds, I'm so sorry, Peter. Peter just gave me that look of disapproval.
Yeah, no, apologize to Peter. Yeah. No, just apologize to only Peter. What about chat, Jack? What about me? What about chat? We got
sorry, chat.
We got 13 lack 0 ut underscore TTV in chat. We've got unorthodox Kane, huzzah for biscuits, like super hoopla, hothead skull showed up once in a while. It was strange to see somebody you were playing against actively in a map. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, you can turn the camera off.
Yeah, I've seen enough. Ooh, dark mode.
Why would you even ask whether or not you wanted the lights on or off? Like...
Yeah, okay.
So, Lisan Al-Gaib, you did a fantastic job in your match today. I guess my primary question would be, the Doomfist, fucking or no?
Fucking. Very fucking.
Big fucking.
Big fucking.
Big fucking with the Doomfist. Okay. Interesting. To take it a little bit more seriously, fantastic job today. I think not only with just playing the Doomfist, but adapting well to the strategies that were being thrown at you from the other team. Specifically, let's talk about Savasca. I typically like to go through these sequentially, but that's the one that's sticking out in my mind the most. We saw a lot of swaps and alternative ideas coming from them, not only from the JQ definitely towards the end, but then also the Orisa. As a Doomfist, especially going into an Orisa, what was your thought process? How did you adapt to that when they made those switches, especially also at the beginning when they were playing the Ramatra? How did you switch your identity or how you were playing the game on Doomfist up against them when they were making all of these tank swaps against you?
Do you want the honest answer or the like...
No, I want you to lie.
Answer?
I want you to lie to the people. Give me the honest answer. Talk your shit.
I know in theory against Orisa, Doom loses, and you should be playing a lot more like around the cooldowns. In truth, I didn't care. I'm better. I could care less what they did. They swapped Orisa. They swapped Junker Queen. They went Ramatra. I saw Roadhog. Right? If you swap 2 times in a match or more, it's just over. It's over.
All right, I'm gonna write that one down for any time you do that in the future. But that's a good answer. I think that is entirely, like, especially having the self-confidence to say, like, if I'm just better at this character, no matter what you swap to, it's not going to be able to give you the magic bullet to stop.
I'm just better. They fed my punch so many times. Like, if you see Doomfist going like this, I don't know. I think it's...
there's a chance
if you see a Doomfist doing this,
There's a chance it got
Don't
confused
shoot
this with this, and they're like, yo,
Oh.
kill the Doom through his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if you
you,
saw that
happens.
if you saw that punch on Legion Tower,
we didn't get to catch it on stream, but
We saw the kill
did see
feed.
the remnants of it.
We
yeah.
saw the kill feed.
And that was very impressive. Yeah. So I'm sorry that we didn't get to catch it on camera, but it was still very impressive, and we do have scrim codes.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to watch it back in 4K, 3K, however much it actually was. But I thought the Doomfist was incredibly impressive, and once again, I mean, you were like an African child in a African village, with the way that you were getting fed the entirety of the match. Let's bring it back to the first map where you actually brought out the Doomfist, Lijiang Garden. So that was one where you were already down one after Control Center, struggling a little bit against the way that they were playing their comp of Brawl. Going into Gardens, what was the thought process, especially after last week, where you guys had a little bit of difficulty, a little bit more of a dour mood when it came to actually losing maps and individual points on maps. What were you guys thinking, and how was your mental going into that map or into that
well,
round?
Peter, oh sweet child, Peter, my mental shattered. I after the amount of comp I played recently, I have no mental left.
Shut up! Stop!
There's no. I have no mental. There is nothing to be broken. I have removed all emotion from my body, and have removed all earthly attachments, and am thus able to fly freely, and become
Are you an
who I'm
airbender?
meant to be.
I have 2 points, 2 major points. A, you're a fucking moron. B,
Yes.
you said yesterday I was not going to play comp anymore.
You said I am
Yeah.
not playing comp for the rest of break.
Rest of break.
Yeah.
Where are you right now?
My house.
Which you would only be there if you were on.
Break.
Okay, so re-see point A, and then let me bring up point C. Did you play comp today?
Follow-up question.
You know what? I plead guilty to all accounts.
One extra detail.
You're not on trial!
Did you play comp?
I feel like I am.
Did you play comp within half an hour of your match today, and then send your coach a DM of at least 14 separate messages ranting?
So, I didn't mean to play comp.
It was
I
an
didn't mean to
accident.
play comp.
I swear.
What? Someone
I
busted into
swear.
your room and queued up for you? What happened? Were you off the Henny?
No. So I told myself, okay, it's like 45 minutes, 40 minutes before match. I'm just gonna play quick play, keep myself warm, and like 15 minutes before match, I don't play any Overwatch, and I just chill.
It's a rule on
And
the
then
team.
yeah, it's a pretty good rule, and I follow it pretty well. And I queue up, and I'm just sitting there, I'm on my phone, and I go into the match. I'm like, okay, what match we get? Nimbani. Okay, played this map already, and then I see that's comp, and I thought I clicked quick play.
Adam, you know what I really enjoy? You know what I think is a great rule? Don't murder people. I think it's fantastic, and I follow it most of the time. I like 99% of the time I'm not killing people because of how much I enjoy that rule in our society. I just think it's
Is this interview just gonna
Oh,
be you
geez.
just like can we get back to the match today?
when has it not ever been just me? You know what? Fine. Let's get back to the match.
No, let's get back to the match.
You did a fantastic job on Servas. Practically
Thank you. Thank you very
300% to 0.
300% to 0?
Practically. Because
Five.
like if you cap
Oh, no,
without them
3.
capping, they never really put up a solid effort when they actually
that's
cap
what you
the point.
meant. Okay.
And you got fed quite a lot. Was that intentional whatsoever, or was that just something where you were just throwing up a block because that's what you're supposed to do, and then because of the result of it? I mean, you punched out of those blocks rather quickly, quite a lot. So was that something you were expecting? After the first time, was it something you were just like, oh, it's going to happen, I might as well use it? Was it a surprise to you whatsoever to be charged that easily as if you were an iPhone?
Sometimes they would charge my punch, and it would be a scenario where I would say to myself, okay, I can definitely land a punch off this and maybe guarantee a kill off it. And then I would just commit to that. And other times, they would not feed my punch for whatever reason, or they would feed it, but then they would just keep on shooting me, and I wouldn't be able to follow up at all. So then I had to, punch out, which is a loss. But, at the end of the day, living is better than not living.
I don't think
I can tell you.
I don't think I can interview you anymore, man. Okay, so then Servasa went fantastic. You guys go up 2-1. We did kind of gloss over King's Row. It was beast. So let's move on to Coliseo. Coliseo, first time you see a particular tank. And actually, there was difficulty running the Doomfist because that's what you guys want to run out on. What was the decision for you to swap off of that Doomfist onto the JQ? And then when you got onto the JQ, what was the thought process of keeping that against the Hog? It was something that we kind of talked about on cast for a little bit. What was your decision making for those 2 swaps you made before you made the third swap that would have guaranteed your loss?
Yeah. So I wanted to roll on Doomfist there, but it just was not working. I was just not able to get any cooldowns out. I wasn't able to follow up on anything. And as soon as they capped first point, sorry, for the first checkpoint, I said to myself, you know what, this isn't working. Let's just go JQ. Classic, simple. I click on it. And then into Hog, I like JQ into Hog because like JQ does kind of the exact same thing Hog does, where you can just pull people in and kill them. But the better thing is that it's not just a hook pull and then they're there. You can leave that knife and then they can't move. They are basically forced to not use any mobility cooldowns. I can prevent them from doing anything like that. So I started to Genji a lot, and then I would force deflect, and then he would dash out, or he would wait until my knife is out, then he would dash out, and boom, all of Genji's cooldowns are gone. Or I just pull Hog, pull him in, Jason like lands like 4 headshots, and boom, Hog dead.
Jason, my Sojourn goat. That guy went crazy today. He went absolutely wild on the Sojourn. It was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, I think that if you were Lisan Al-Gaib, then he was the Kizat Haderach. That was some real.
I have no idea what these words mean.
Bro, just study Islam. Absolute goober.
No, I'll study it. I'll study it.
Thank you, mashallah, brother. A fantastic job, I think, overall. And I do genuinely want to give you props. I think that you played a fantastic job on the characters that you played, and we saw 3 to 4 of them played rather well. So congratulations on your dub today. And I think I'm going to pass it over to my other co-caster here for some penultimate questions before we get into the fatalistic, the final, biggest and most important question at the end. But hand it over to Eric Culver.
Peter, before we continue, I actually have one question for you, Peter.
Go for it.
That stuffed animal to your back left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's its name?
Kenny.
Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. That's literally all I wanted to ask. I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wonder if it has a name. And knowing you, Peter, you probably gave it a name.
I always give my stuffed animals names. Also, I told you the name 2.5 weeks ago.
You did?
Yeah, it's in our DMs.
Okay.
Wow. Anyways, moving on. We've got a question from Unorthodox Kane from chat. Yeah, True Blade. How did you feel about the game confidence-wise? With a emoji or text face. How'd you feel confidence-wise? Walk us through it
map,
too. Yeah, map 1, map 2.
First map, my confidence wasn't too good. I think it was fine. I just at some point during the first point was like I realized I was better than their tank, and that we as a team were better. I just don't think we executed to our highest and to our standards, and I think that's what caused this first point. Second point, we're on defense. Defense was kind of a little rough, but I think as soon as we had our attack, we capped with 4.5 minutes. I think confidence shot up, and it just stayed. It just stayed there.
Yeah, it was
the entire game.
It was clear. It was there.
A question from Blackout.
Go for it.
No, I thought you were gonna ask it, but I can ask it as well. We have one from 13lac0
oh god
UT_TTV in chat. What movement abilities does Hog have? In reference to I just jagged blade someone, pull them in, and then they have to use a movement ability.
Well, Hog doesn't have any movement abilities. But
he has legs. Wrong answer. All right, next one.
Got him.
Legs is not an.
Yeah, legs is the name of the character, Peter.
Yeah.
Legs.
Is it horizontal or vertical legs?
Legs, abs, and thighs.
Who's
chest?
Yeah.
Tries, thighs.
Goddamn, flex for us, Chief.
No.
Could you stand up? Actually, this is just a random question that popped in my head. Can you stand up and point to your obliques? He doesn't know where they are, chat. Chat, he doesn't know where his obliques are.
Now,
He's wasting his time in the gym.
a comment from Super Hoopla early on in this game when we were spectating your beautiful Doomfist. I want to watch Trueblade play Final Fantasy. Hey, chat, can we read Roman numerals here?
Are you kidding me? Where is
I can
XIV.
read.
XIV.
14?
14. Why the fuck are they on 14? Just like,
They're on 16.
On 16.
just like update your game.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to miss the fact that Adam can't read Roman numerals.
How much new additions are they making? Like how revolutionary is the game changing
I don't know.
from
Pretty damn revolutionary. The game originally came out prior to 2000.
Yeah, from
My brother.
I imagine
my brother
from
actually
Final
just
Fantasy
beat
to
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
16.
I imagine from number 1 to 16, yeah, there's a ton of change. But like from 1 to 2, from 7 to 8, from 12 to 13, from 15 to 16, like you think all of those are revolutionary updates?
I don't play the series, so I wouldn't know.
I feel
A friend
like
of mine does.
I feel like it's gotta feel really similar to like Call of Duty and like FIFA, how it's like pretty much the same game. Like
No.
FIFA is more. FIFA's a lot more
No.
extreme.
It's more because I know that they've switched genres. Like overall, it's still generally Final Fantasy, but I know that they've gone from like single player games where they're like party builder RPGs to like massive MMOs and then like online MMOs as well.
I think 14 is the MMO.
14 is
mistaken.
MMO. Yeah. And that one is like a continual update, kind of like Destiny. They have like raids and stuff, and my friend's actually a professional raider, but I know nothing about it because he's just a dweeb. So, but
Do I get
actually,
Final
sorry,
Fantasy?
he's not a dweeb. Jeff is cool. Huh?
We love Jeff.
Jeff is great.
But anyways,
Jeff
Super Hoopla said, "I want to watch Trueblade play Final Fantasy 14. His rotations are tight on the Doomfist. I feel he would be a great red mage."
Red mage. Cool.
What are your thoughts on that? You're wearing red or orange.
I am wearing red. I am wearing red. No idea what red mage is.
It's a mage that's red. The fuck is wrong with you?
Why did I think of that?
Dude.
I got a question from chat. Question from Mezinity. Which tank should get a Glock? My money is on Ryan.
You know, it'd be really funny.
Any answer? But yeah, go ahead.
I think all the tanks deserve a Glock.
What about Diva? Already has one.
That's like a 9mm.
Hers is like a Glock with a safety on.
Diva's like the closest character in this entire game to a Glock.
Stop! No, Jack. What do you think safeties do? What do you think safeties do? What do you think safeties do? What do you think a safety does in a gun?
I know what a safety does. A safety prevents the gun from being shot. I'm saying safety.
I don't know what the quotes are supposed to do here. The quotes don't make what you said intelligent at all. It wouldn't fire if the safety was on.
It makes it safer.
Okay, so we'll go. So we will go with what you said. Then we will say that Diva has basically a 9mm. We'll go with what you said. Back to the question.
You know who else has a 9mm?
Who? Mercy.
Finish the bit, white man. Do it.
Reinhardt, let's go. I love Reinhardt. I'm a Reinhardt man.
I think Wrecking Ball would be pretty cool if he had a Glock.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool if he had a Glock.
Yeah, like you kill Wrecking Ball, but it's like kind of when you first Diva out mech, where it's just baby Diva runs around. Now you just have Hammond running around with a Glock.
God, but he should have the HP of like a sim turret, where it's just like one shot.
But you should also be able to walk over him. Like if you step on him by accident, he just squishes him.
Yeah. That'd be good. All right. Final.
Just really fast.
Final question for myself, unless Peter has anything left.
No, not really.
Trueblade 16. what comes next? How's your vacation? You got good plans? Are you gonna play more ranked
Actually-
Overwatch? Everybody loves that.
No. It's done.
Chat,
It's done.
clip it. Clip this. Chat, clip
Clip
it. You can clip
this.
it. You can clip
Right
it.
now,
Yeah.
clip
You
it.
can clip it. You can clip it.
We're gonna post this so much in this server. Anytime anybody finds you playing comp for the next week, you're cooked.
No more ranked until I get back to campus.
I'm holding you to that.
Okay. All right. You can only do it. And every time you see either True Late 16 or Fallout 17 playing competitive, you can DM me that clip.
I'm gonna DM you something so much worse, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. I actually don't know what the rest of my break is gonna be. I have some work I need to do. Probably gonna hang out with a few friends. Yeah.
Wow, the most measured response to that question I think
Rhode Island.
we've ever heard.
Yeah. I mean, my break's been fun so far. I went to at my mom's school. They had a kind of gambling night where you got fake money and you got to gamble. It was pretty fun. I've never gambled before, so it was good
Wow.
to kind of get. Yeah.
That's really cool. I don't think we asked what you did do. I think it was going to be what you were going to do. So, thanks for not answering the question.
Well, I did.
Thank
I
you for
did answer.
interviewing and doing a fantastic
I-
job
I-
tonight. So,
I
poggers
answered-
to you,
I
Jack,
answered-
and Triple H 16, as well as the rest of the entire UHeart roster, doing a fantastic job bouncing back from this, last week's loss and looking towards the future, doing a continued great job in the NACE Star League season. I think that you guys have done a fantastic job. I can't wait to see you guys continue to pop off on the comps that work well for you. And continue to practice and get better, because not only were the characters and the individual performance better, but your macro team play was better, and I'm sure you're going to see it in
Yeah.
VOD. You have great examples of what to do against genuine struggle, so hopefully you guys continue to improve on all of that going forward. And that should be it from us today. Thank you for everybody still watching in chat at twitch.tv/uheartesports. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated, as we are trying to grow this little esports community that we've created up here in Hartford. So thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. End stream, so that I can yell at Jack for like so many things. For like a lot of things, actually. Like, why did you think a safety made the gun safer?
He didn't.
Why?
He explained what it was.
I know
Alright,
what
bye,
it is.
chat.